Welcome to the Rewriting Naruto series part 26, a series of videos where I rewrite Naruto, making changes to improve the story for my personal taste. This is a very long series, so definitely subscribe to never miss any future rewrite videos. Ring the notification bell so you always know when they come out, and like this video to support the channel and the series. The goal for this video is going to be 2,000 likes. If we get those likes in 24 hours, I'll drop the next rewrite within a week. Come on, if everyone likes the video, this is gonna be pretty easy. Sakura runs through the cave of crystals, following the direction of the vibrations she heard echoing around the cave. She thinks, do these vibrations mean someone is fighting? She then suddenly realizes that the vibrations have stopped. Sakura is taken aback, and she tries to listen for them again, trying to pinpoint if they're actually somewhere else, but they're gone. She thinks, does this mean the fight has ended? It could be anything, but I have to be there right now. Sakura keeps running, no longer aided by the vibrations guiding her, but she still goes towards the direction she thinks the vibrations were coming from. Amayuri is tense. She stands on top of a ruin in the Uzumaki city, looking for Kakashi amidst the other ruins. The ruin she stands on is tall enough to ensure Kakashi cannot sneak his way up to her from another ruin or through the vegetation. It's one of the tallest buildings in the area. She thinks, this little game of patience, coward! You kill my squadron, now you play hide and seek? Amayuri catches herself and thinks, calm down, Amayuri. If you lose your temper, he's going to kill you. She hears a sound coming from below. As she looks down, she sees a kunai hit the base structure of the ruin. There's a paper bomb in it. More kunais hit the base then from all sides, and they all ignite at the same time. The ruin begins to crumble. Amayuri jumps away before losing her footing, and she sees the entire building collapsing, thinking, I should have known he wouldn't attack me when I had the high ground. A dozen shurikens streak towards Amayuri, who's falling towards the ground. She moves her twin blades to block them mid-air. However, as her blade impacts the first shuriken, they ignite into several flashes of light, creating a loud popping sound, blinding and deafening Amayuri. She uses her memory to block the incoming shurikens even though she can't see. Amayuri thinks, ninja art flashbang shuriken, huh? I won't be able to see or hear for about 5 seconds, which is more than enough for him to attack me and cut me down. I have no other choice than to spend the rest of my chakra. Amayuri weaves hand signs. Ice style. Cold orb! She creates a massive orb of ice that envelops her entire body, serving as a barrier that protects her from all sides. Kakashi, who had jumped to intercept her mid-air, hits the ice orb with his kunai, but Amayuri stays in the middle of it, unharmed, protected by the thick ice. The orb is solid. It's as though Amayuri is paralyzed by it, but it still serves to protect her. Kakashi lands back on the ground as the massive ice orb falls, creating a small crater amid the Uzumaki city. As it impacts, the ice shatters. The shards fly towards all directions, including Kakashi's, who manages to burrow underground as the shards pass above him. Amayuri regains her sight and hearing, and she sees the hole created by Kakashi as the orb no longer restrains her. She assumes a defensive stance. Kakashi emerges from the ground behind Amayuri as she swirls and strikes Kakashi with her blades, no longer imbued by any chakra. Kakashi parries. He is dual-wielding kunais. Kakashi counterattacks, slashing quickly at Amayuri, prompting her to block. They engage in a quick and ferocious exchange with their weapons, using no chakra to enhance their abilities. Amayuri says, it seems we're both out of chakra now, huh? Kakashi narrows his eyes, saying, who sent you here? Amayuri scoffs. You know very well I cannot tell you that, copy ninja. The red-haired lady with 6 daggers stabbed around her body imbues 4 spiders that were crawling around the cave with her strange chakra, transforming them into huge chakra spiders that dash towards Neji and Kabuto in the chamber below the Uzumaki city. They spew webs of powerful chakra, forcing Neji to destroy them with his gentle fist, while Kabuto does the same with his chakra scalpels. They then attack the spiders spiders. However, they are stronger than the bugs they fought before, faster and more durable as well. Neji is forced to dodge the massive spider legs while blocking the webs. Kabuto jumps around the chamber, avoiding the spider, and he tosses 3 kunais towards the woman herself. The dense chakra around her stops the kunais from hitting her. Hidden paper bombs then erupt from the kunais and detonate right next to her, the explosion echoing around the cave, sending dust and small fragments of crystals everywhere. Kabuto and Neji continue to fight the spiders as the dust from the explosion settles. The red-haired woman is in the same place, completely unharmed by Kabuto's attack, though she is still bleeding from the wounds around her entire torso, where she's been stabbed by daggers. Neji, still fighting against the spiders, looks more closely at her with his Byakugan. He sees a thick layer of chakra formed around her, coming out of the daggers. It protects her entire body. Neji thinks, I see, it's the same principle as the rotation, expelling chakra and using it as a shield around the body. Though her chakra seems much more wild, and it's not expelled from her chakra points, rather from those weird daggers. They definitely are the source of her powers. And Kabuto tried to yank one of those out and failed to do so. With the gentle fist work on them, but still I can't get close to her. Kabuto evades the spiders and reaches the lady again. He slashes at her with his chakra scalpel. The scalpel impacts the shield and is completely stopped by it. Another shockwave of chakra erupts around the woman, but Kabuto anticipated that. He dashes backwards as soon as his scalpel was blocked, avoiding the incoming chakra. But then a spider comes from behind, attacking Kabuto. He manages to dodge the spider and engages them again. Neji thinks, yes, as I suspected, that shield is powerful. His attack did nothing to it. Even still, I have to take care of these spiders first. Sakura stops running through the tunnels, noticing something strange in the cave. Right after 2 tunnels cross paths, Sakura sees that the dust around the tunnel has been displaced to the sides, near the walls of the tunnel. There are no tracks, and Sakura thinks, this looks as though something was flying here. Could it be one of those chakra beasts? She resumes her run towards the place where the vibrations were coming from initially, looking around the tunnel for more clues about what was flying here. Neji and Kabuto are both on the defensive, fending off the huge spiders. The red-haired woman looks at them, smiles, and says, why don't you just die? Several shards of chakra erupt from around her body, directed towards Neji and Kabuto. They now have to fight the spiders and dodge the chakra shards. They begin to get overwhelmed by the incoming chakra and the massive beast attacking them at the same time. Neji and Kabuto then look at each other and a silent understanding is reached. They have no choice but to help each other in the situation. Kabuto evades an incoming spider attack and jumps behind Neji. Another spider dashes towards Neji and he rotates to block it. Kabuto uses the rotation as a barrier between him and the spider and weaves hand signs. Summoning jutsu! He summons 4 corpses. The 4 spiders then dash towards them. Kabuto and the corpses jump back. Neji continues his rotation. As all 4 spiders are about to attack the rotation, Neji jumps up in between the spiders, using his air palm to change his trajectory mid-air and dodge the chakra shards that are being shot by the red-haired woman. Neji molds his chakra, creating spikes at the tip of his fingers. Gentle fist. Coalescence. He then uses an air palm to shoot the small spikes of chakra that fly with absurd speed towards the spiders below, hitting and piercing through their hide. The spiders are completely stunned by the attack. The 4 corpses jump, each at one spider, touching them and exploding with violence. The 4 spiders are destroyed, as they couldn't do anything to defend themselves from the explosion due to Neji's attack. Kabuto then quickly dashes towards the red-haired lady, dodging the jets of chakra that are shot against him. Neji lands on the ground, shooting air palms towards her. The air palms impact the chakra aura around her and do nothing, as another shockwave of chakra erupts from around her, forcing Kabuto to change his trajectory and avoid the blast. Neji and Kabuto now stand at opposite sides from the woman. They look at her, uncertain of how to attack. The chakra around her is too powerful, it will block anything. Neji then says, Aki Uzumaki, right? Please stop what you're doing. You're hurting innocent people. The woman says, this person is no more. Filthy descendant of Arima. Neji dodges a chakra being shot at him and says, think about your son, please. Her expression suddenly changes. She is completely taken over by horror and pain. Neji sees with his Byakugan that the chakra oozing from the daggers diminishes, and the barrier around her fizzles. The woman looks back at Neji, crying, and her voice becomes much more natural as she says, kill me, please, kill me. Kabuto rushes her from behind, chakra scalpel activated, intending on killing her. There's no chakra shield impeding him anymore. But Neji remembers Naruto promising Yotsu that he would rescue his mom. Neji then shoots an air palm, not towards the woman, but at Kabuto, hitting him straight on and knocking him back. Kabuto is unable to finish his strike, and he does not kill the red-haired woman. Aki's consciousness is completely overtaken again. Neji sees the chakra from the daggers becoming much more intense and returning to the barrier around her body. The red-haired lady says, pathetic woman. Attached to her child. It doesn't matter. Soon enough, I will no longer need her body. She begins to launch even more chakra beams at Neji and Kabuto. Kabuto then says with anger in his expression, you idiots, why did you do that? I was going to finish her off. Neji looks at him and says in a cold, menacing tone, you're not killing her. I won't let you break his promise. Sometimes I wonder if every ninja from the Leaf Village is a complete bonehead. Naruto stares at the Oni Masked Figure laying on the ground, mask broken, but the face covered by a cloud of dust. Naruto assumes a fight stance. He is nervous, waiting for the dust to settle. For some reason, he has a weird feeling as though he's being watched. It unsettles him. The dust finally falls down. Naruto freezes in complete shock. For a long moment, his mind goes blank as he sees the face of Hinata, blood dripping out of her mouth. Naruto thinks, why is Hinata here? Why was she wearing a mask? What's happening? Why did she fight me? What? Naruto then finally understands. He's been put under a genjutsu. He had a funny feeling that the Oni Masked Figure could read his mind, and he did think about Hinata during a moment in the fight. Naruto claps his hands, expelling chakra from his body, attempting to disrupt the genjutsu. Nothing happens. Hinata remains there, laying on the ground, wearing those dark robes. Naruto keeps on expelling the chakra and thinks, I just have to try harder! Even more chakra is expelled from Naruto's body in a great effort, but nothing changes. Naruto begins to breathe heavily, not knowing what to do. This genjutsu won't go away. He bites his hand, attempting to break out of the genjutsu the traditional way, inflicting self-harm. Nothing changes. Naruto bites even harder, digging his teeth into his own skin, drawing blood. Nothing changes. Hinata is still there. Naruto shakes. It is really Hinata, but why? Naruto runs towards her. He feels her pulse. He can't feel it. Her heart isn't beating. No, it can't be. Naruto has to be wrong. He touches his ear to Hinata's chest, trying to listen to her heartbeat. Her heart is definitely not beating. That's to be expected. She got hit by a wind-style Rasengan. Nevertheless, Naruto is completely overtaken by shock. The two shadow clones he had in the cave vanish, Naruto being unable to maintain concentration from sheer terror. He doesn't know what to do. He feels so alone. He can't even feel the Nine-Tails' presence. And he killed Hinata! He killed Hinata! First aid. That's what he has to do. Pervy Sage trained him to do that in emergencies. But he also wished Sakura was here. Chest pumps. He has to resuscitate her. He doesn't know medical ninjutsu, but he has to do something. Naruto prepares to do so. He's never felt so terrified before. Something hits Naruto from behind, causing unbelievable pain. Naruto looks down and sees a spear exiting through his stomach, impaling him. Blood gushes out of the wound as Naruto spits blood as well, spilling it on Hinata. Everything in Naruto's world is pain, physical and psychological. He looks behind him with great effort and sees a blue-haired woman flying with the large white wings. She is far away from him. It seems as though she just got into the cavern and she's wearing an Akatsuki robe. Naruto's vision begins to blur as he motions to create shadow clones. Before he can form the hand signs, the paper spear that was impaling him turns into several pieces of paper covered in Naruto's blood. They then surround Naruto's arms, completely immobilizing him in a very quick motion, not allowing Naruto to finish his hand seal. The woman sends even more paper towards Naruto, completely covering his body. Naruto can't see anymore, he can't move either, and the papers begin to squeeze him with unbelievable force. How could simple piece of paper be this strong? Naruto begins to lose consciousness, completely unable to do anything. The last thoughts that come to his mind before he passes out are sheer terror about what's gonna happen to Hinata. Konan finishes knocking the Jinchuriki unconscious. She can feel through her paper when the body of the target grows limp, but she has to make sure he isn't dead. The papers themselves will serve to staunch Naruto's bleeding. Konan thinks, "You were right to send me here, Pain. Who would have thought I would be able to capture the Nine Tails so easily?" Though she didn't quite understand the situation here, it seemed to her that the Jinchuriki wanted to help his attacker after defeating her. Perhaps he's just that compassionate. Nevertheless, this is great news. Now the Akatsuki will be able to accelerate their plans. They weren't expecting to capture the Nine Tails so soon. Konan just has to go back to the rain village to begin the extraction. An ethereal black and white girl grapples Konan, choking the air out of her. She thinks, "Genjutsu? What?" Sakura jumps from behind and lands a massive punch on Konan's back mid-air, blowing away half of her torso that turns into paper immediately. Konan impacts the other side of the cavern with great force. Before Konan can react, Sakura casts another genjutsu, releasing her inner self to once again immobilize the Akatsuki member. Konan stands still, paralyzed in a small crater created on the wall from her impact. Sakura lands on the ground and sees Hinata knocked unconscious and wounded, wearing dark robes. What's Hinata doing here? Sakura then remembers that strange masked figure that fell with them. It was wearing similar clothes. Sakura then thinks in shock, "Hinata, don't tell me that you're in the root to that mask." Sakura assesses Hinata's situation and begins to heal her immediately. She sees the wound on Hinata's stomach thinking, "This looks like the Rasen Shuriken damage, but on a smaller scale, maybe a smaller variant. Did you really fight Naruto?" Sakura manages to reanimate Hinata with her medical ninjutsu. Her breaths are shallow and she is still unconscious, however. Sakura then looks at Naruto covered in papers and begins to yank them out. They're surprisingly tough to rip. Konan centers herself as she is still being grappled by Sakura's weird avatar. A piece of paper leaves her chest and gently taps Konan's forehead, releasing a wave of chakra and breaking the genjutsu. She then launches a barrage of shurikens towards Sakura, who grabs Naruto and Hinata and dodges them. Sakura thinks, "What? She's not dead? I used the genjutsu just to make sure she would stay there, but..." Konan's half-blown torso begins to regrow as the pieces of paper that were blown away begin to coalesce back into her body. She flies above Sakura, Hinata, and Naruto. Still half covered in paper, Konan commands her paper to bring Naruto to her. Sakura grabs Naruto, not letting her do that, as the two initiate a tug of war with a bleeding, unconscious Naruto. Konan says, "Give me the Jinchuriki and no one else needs to get hurt." Sakura looks at her and says, "How about you let him go and I don't kill you?" Konan remains silent. Sakura smiles and says, "Thought so." She lets go of Naruto and jumps towards Konan, weaving hand signs. Watch part 27 of the rewrite right here. Subscribe if you haven't already and like this video too. Let me know in the comments down below what you thought about this episode and the big reveal. Did you catch the foreshadowing I've been doing since before the time skip? And as always, thank you so much for watching.